Well, I found a couple of things wrong with this arm. I didn't see it last week. I do see it now. When I compare the thickness of this arm with the thickness of this arm, this one is thinner, and actually more what I want. This one has been overdone. So that's one problem. It makes also the shoulder just a little bit wider here than here. Also, the measurement from here to there is the same as from there to there. The difference is between there and the wrist. I've got the wrist right here, and the wrist should be up there. So it's about the length of extension that also is the wrong length for the arm and what's throwing me off. So I'm going to do a lot of changing here, and hopefully I can do it without tearing the arm apart and doing it over again, but you never know. So let's get busy on that. do now is I'm going to start working on the, I think I'm going to start working on the feathers. This arm is fine now. I reduced the size of the, or the thickness of the arm, so now it matches more the thickness of this arm. Alright, I got a couple of items at the hardware store just now. These are hooks, and to make the twisted wire, which I'll show you, you need something strong. I'm going to use this as an anchor to wrap the wire around. This will go into the drill as a drill bit, and I'll wrap the wire around this. And once I get it twisted to the thickness I want, and you'll understand what I'm talking about when I show you, you just clip the wire that you want and then just slide the excess wire off the two hooks, and you're not sitting there trying to untangle them and cutting your fingers. Alright, I've got the wire running between this hook and that drill, that hook over there, and now I just start twisting it. You end up with is a twisted piece of wire that can be used very nicely for an armature. Alright, I'm going to get busy making 30 of these. Just one added suggestion, I would get a pair of gloves to do this with. Baling wire is not only dirty, but you can cut your hands up like crazy, and if you're a sculptor, the last thing you need are little scars on your hands, because that causes scratches on your finished clay. So I would suggest getting gloves to work with. These are a little bit big for me, but they work. Alright, I've got the wire armatures made. I'm going to stop now and see how many feathers I get out of these. Well, I got 25 armatures out of that first batch of wire, so I only need 5 more armatures. What I'm doing now is I'm marking the length that I need for the bottom of the feather. I'll show you what I'm talking about. As you saw before, I marked from about a quarter of an inch into the feather itself down to the bottom of the feather, from here to there, and then the stem of the feather from there to there, and then where I bend the wire to place the feather into the headdress, from there to there. Well, I need to mark all these feathers so I know exactly where the bottom of the feather is. I do that by putting my fingers right on the mark that I made for the bottom of the feather, and then I put a piece of tape that starts at the bottom of the feather, and then I just turn it a little bit and go down to the mark I made for the bottom of the quill, put another piece of tape down the bottom of that, and I know from that point down, this point down is where I bend the wire, and I know how long to make the quill and how long to make the body of the feather. And I've done that on all of these, you can see here, and so it just makes it easier and faster when I'm making the feathers to know all those points of reference. And you can see here what I'm talking about, and then down to the bottom of the quill. And it's very important to keep the quills the same length. And the reason for that is because one of the beauties of the headdress is the fact that all these feathers, the bottom of the feathers, all end at the same point. And then having the same length for sticking into the clay is helpful too. Alright, I'm going to go back to doing the last one, and then I'm heading home for tonight, and then tomorrow we'll start the feathers.